am willing to infinite and abundant, just like the universe. And I know I was created as a being of love, of hope, of
all right,
charity,
guys
of goodness,
and gals,
that I am a reflection
we'll
of
get
the
started
divine.
shortly.
There is nothing in me that is underdeserving of good. I am open to
How's everybody
receive
feeling
wealth in
tonight,
many
though?
ways.
7 people on here.
I
You
was
can talk,
taught that there is
right?
only one way
They can
to
talk.
receive money and wealth in my life, and I now see there are multiple
I'm
paths.
achy, but I'm all right.
Okay, you out of the
I am
matrix.
willing to
Yeah.
travel more than one path
So what were you saying earlier, though?
in my life. I am the only person.
And I said I was just getting out of choir rehearsal
Oh,
on my
okay.
way home.
Got you, got you.
And while it might feel
Shout out to
strange
everybody
think
who joined
differently,
too.
I am certainly entitled to do that.
This
The
was
more
supposed
I
to be at
give, the
9:30,
more
but
I receive. And the more I receive, the more I give.
I should have reached out for an earlier link and whatnot, so that was on me.
Everything.
But I'm not going to take up too much of your time tonight. I want to talk about something, just one word in particular, accountability.
Just because you send out a message of giving, it doesn't mean I'm going to be getting back.
When we're in this trading field, let me turn this off in the background. You know, when we're in this trading field, right? And we see people be successful. We obtain certain successes, and you know, we cheer on others and others cheer on us, right? But when you're losing, nobody wants to take accountability for the fact that they're the ones that actually place that trade. They're the ones that actually made that happen. We're all adults in this. This is one thing my brother would always say. My brother Taz, he would always say that in a lot of webinars when people would come back and say, oh, you know, the strategy isn't working, just and that. No, listen. Regardless of what strategy you have and such, there's always going to be a time in the market where it's going to do exactly what it wants to do. Well, I'm showing you this chart right here. I'm showing you Euro USD for no other reason, just to show you that you could literally, this could be any pair is what I'm telling you, right? What I'm about to tell you. You could have your sentiments. You know, remember if you were here last week, I told you about when there's a certain amount of buy power or sell power in the market, or positions that other traders have taken earlier on. The market's job is to run you down until you can't be run down anymore. Even though it could be very well a buyer's market, the brokers do not care that it's a buyer's market. All they're concerned with is their bottom line, their profit. So if you look at this chart right here, right? All of this selling. I think my brother actually spoke about this. It wasn't Euro USD, it was another pair. So this is almost like 379 pips away from somebody that was in a buy position right here, where these arrows are. Believe it or not, some people took buys up here. Hold on. Right here, where these arrows started coming in, there's some people that's locked in right here, losing their mind. Probably lost their account by the time it got to here. And then it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. That's what brings me to that word accountability. At what point do you say to yourself, all right, you know what? I'm going to take this little loss and I'm going to reposition myself in the market. There's always a point where you can say, like I said, if you weren't to buy up here, you could have, when it got down here, that, especially if you didn't have a stop loss, you could, all right, I'm out of here. This is it. You know, let's see how many pips that was against you. Let's say you came in to buy right here and you decided to get it right there. So you had 143 pips right there. All right, that's it. Because it's an hour chart right here. So, all right, I'm out of there. Boom. So you out of there. But some people don't learn their lesson. Some people got to learn all the way down here. And what they say, the first thing they say is, oh, the system doesn't work. It's not the system. The market is going to do exactly what it wants to do. The market is not necessarily against you. And I know we always say, oh, there's a broker. Yeah, the brokers are, in my opinion, they got to be against you because that's how they make their money when it comes to the brokers aspect of it. So they can manipulate and make things happen on a chart that might be a little exaggerated from what's actually going on in the market. Yes, that is a big possibility. But I'm talking about the market actually. This is a free flow of sales right here. So somebody came in and sold this down and applied enough pressure to push this down, even though there's buyers in the market up here that had some hope of this continuing up. Somebody came in over here and said, we don't want it higher than this point right here. Pardon me, put this on mute, sorry. Somebody said, we don't want it higher than here. At least they didn't want it higher than this point at that date. Now we're going into Friday. So this is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday. Remember, I told you Sunday and Monday for me is the same day just because of how all of that works. With 5 o'clock being the beginning of the session Eastern time. This is Friday. This is Thursday. So last Thursday was the last time buyers seen any type of pressure and they just got dragged down. Of course, fundamentals and such like that has a lot to do with that. But there are some traders still trapped up here. I promise you that. And they're probably not going to see profit until probably next week when and if this market decides to go back up to here and retest. Because this is a fresh zone over here. Because so much pressure has been applied from that price point that the market repeats itself. So if for nothing, it's going to come up in this area to clear out before it sells again, because it's just, they got to book a profit because certain people got in at a sell up here or down here. So right now, all those people that's in the sell up in this area, they're in profit right now. This whole market is you know, it's a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? You're either cut or you're doing the cutting. So while you're winning, someone is losing. That is a fact. Where we come in at as analysts in the market, all we want to do is be right more than not. And that's by trading alongside the market makers or the bankers and stuff like that. This is banker moves right here. Like, to drag it down for this many days, you got to put a lot of volume onto the market. Also, another thing I want you to pay attention to, when the market is really trying to, like, you know, if it's buyers in the market, right? And you like, you know, there's buyers in this market, man. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Why is it selling against it, right? You look down here at the heartbeat and you'll see they're staying in this valley for a long time. It's only a matter of time before it goes back into this color right here. All you have to do is wait around for that. I mean, it might be happening right now, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, I can't predict that. Today's Friday. Technically, it's Friday. So even though you're still in Thursday, your mind has to be the next day. In order to keep up with this market, it has to be the day ahead. And I know sometimes that's gonna throw your days off. It throws me off all the time. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's something that you get accustomed to in order to be, you know, have a little edge on a market. You know, it's not too many edges you can have in this market. I'll tell you like that. But one of them I will say is knowing your time frames, as far as knowing that 5 o'clock your time is another day in the market somewhere else in London time. Accountability. Knowing when to say, you know what, this trade isn't working out for me. I'm gonna cut my losses and come back to the platform another time, maybe another day. You remember I told you, if you're stressed out and you got a lot on your mind and such like that, I don't think it's a wise idea for you to trade. You got to be synchronized with this. Synchronicity. Oh, that word is beautiful. I love that word. Synchronicity. To the point where you're like, you know, you got balance with this market. You trade when you need to, and you take a rest whenever you need to. It's very important. And that's why we have the other side of income getting, as far as recruiting. It's not even recruiting. Honestly, it's to the point where now we're just spreading the knowledge of what we do every day and how we're able to change lives. That's really it. I mean, some people just want to be talked to be honest with you. There's a lot of people that's lost in this world right now. I'm not saying, oh, you know, it's a pity part. No, that's not what I'm saying. Some people really just want to hear something good. And even in my worst moments in this market, there are still things that I could see positive about this market that's helping me. Even though sometimes I might struggle, I'll get past that. Just like you'll get past it. It's just a process. You know, you ever had that moment where you're trying to leave the house, right? And for some reason you might have misplaced your keys. And you weren't looking for them before you left, so it's not like you prepared for it, but it's just like for some reason you just can't find your keys, right? And you feel like, oh man, I got to get out there and do what I got to do and get this done and da-da-da-da, right? And then when you actually find your keys and get out there, you actually are 5 minutes late from an accident that might have happened right outside your house. So had you found those keys and been on time, or in a rush like you wanted it to, because you wanted it to, because you wanted to find your keys, you might have went out too early. So I peep things like that. And I realize in life certain times where you feel like you're supposed to be there because you see other people there. I'm telling you, it doesn't work like that. You're going to have your time. And nobody's going to be able to take that from you. You're not going to feel left out. You're not going to feel like this person is doing better than you or nothing like that. It's going to be your time. You're going to find, you know what I'm saying? Everything is going to be synchronized. Like I said, you really wish you found that key right now, or that strategy, or whatever you feel like might not be your time right now. You might have some more learning to do. And even though I've been in the business as long as I've been in the business, I still might have some learning to do. So I have to humble myself at certain moments and take accountability for the mistakes that I make, because I'm grown. Just like we're all grown. We have to take those accountabilities for that. Because, we quick to blame, nope, don't blame the SBA, don't blame yourself. Get used to that, because, you ain't got nobody else to really complain to be honest with you. You got to blame yourself. Nobody else want to hear that it's their fault. So get used to saying it's your fault, because you placed that buy up here. Let's say you place a buy up here and it dragged you down. That's your fault. At this point or something like that, you could have clicked X and got out the trade. But what do? We don't want that. We want that profit. We want that hope that it's going to go back up. This market is not based off of hopes, though. Honestly, most of the stuff in life is not based off of hope. Faith, maybe, but faith without work is what? Okay, so you're still gonna have to put in some type of work. Hope that's hope. I don't really understand that word. I never understood hope. I kind of don't like to use that word. Hope. I had to get that out of my vocabulary. I sound weak when I say it. That's how I know it's a weak word. Oh, I hope it goes my way. I don't hope it, man. It's either going or it's not. The faster I'm honest, the faster you're honest with yourself, the more you'll be able to take that sting. Oh, I made a mistake. Damn. I should have been on a sell and I went in on a buy. Oh, that's me. Not my boss Ron Knight, not my boss Taz, not my boss Edgar, not Sunita, not who else is on here, not anybody that's on here. Not Candace, not Jose, not Christy, that's nobody else's fault. That's yours. So you take that and you learn from it. Now watch this though, right? There's hope, right? There's light at the end of this, right? Because when you look at the left, you see that the market is kind of painting a story of what it might be the opposite side next week. So even though you might have got dragged this week, all faith is not lost. Next week, you can come in and take all of this, because the market has to book a profit, y'all. It doesn't just give away sales and just give away buys. It's a balance. It's an ebb and flow. The market moves in waves. Sometimes the waves are a little bit drastic, but I promise you the recovery, or like I like to call it, they gotta book a profit. All the people who got it right with them, they gotta book them next week. So guess what? I'll be a bit of a spectator next week on Euro USD, even if I don't trade it. I'll just watch it. You guys, you got to make this stuff interesting. You got to make it interesting, something that you're interested in. That's the only way that you're going to stay in the business. If you focus on the money and all that other stuff, man, you be out of here. I tell you, you got to focus on really learning what you need to learn to make you feel comfortable and confident in trading. if this is the business that you want to choose to be in. So before I sign off, I just want to let everybody know I appreciate anybody who joins these webinars at any time. I know tonight was a little bit shorter and whatnot. I should have got on 9:30 and whatnot. But I just want you to think about that word accountability. And really think about and think about that. So like you don't get into that, don't, you know, and I don't want you to think when I say accountability, I mean blame yourself like you're the reason. No, I'm saying if you know that you made a bit of a mistake or you might have tripped up on something, just admit to yourself, all right, that was my fault right there. Move on, boom. You know what I'm saying? Because even when we're trading together, all right, and we lose together, all right, that might have, all right, cool, we losing together. So that's a group type of thing. When you by yourself with this, you got to take that accountability, get used to it, let the sting hit, bop, get over it, move on. There's going to be another trade. I promise you there's going to be another trade. There's always another trade. There's days I'm telling you where I lost trades and I didn't even realize. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do? It's Friday. It's Friday and I blew my account. There was days where it was Tuesday and I blew my account. Think about that. Tuesday, account gone. That's heartbreaking. And I know some traders go through that because now they like, all right, I got to figure out how I'm going to put money into this account to trade again. But then even when I put this money into this account, is the market going to be, you know, favorable? Because you could get cleared out Tuesday, make a deposit Tuesday and get cleared out by Thursday. They're not playing with you. They'll rinse you. And that's where that accountability takes place. I've been through that as well, Sunita. You know what I'm saying? Cleared out Tuesday, deposit Tuesday, cleared out Thursday. But I also have moments where I remember the first time I went from 900 to 1,000. I remember that day. There's no greater feeling when you go through that mud and you hit your first, you crack your first 1K and you're like, oh yeah. And it's rolling from there because all you're doing is playing with the market's money and pulling deposits off of that initial 1K. I mean, making withdrawals off that initial 1K. The business is totally different now, but you get the gist. Hey, I remember my first 100. Telling my friends, yo, I got this from the market. The market, man, they didn't know what I was talking about. All we knew was jobs, stuff like that, street stuff. We didn't know nothing about no, you know? $1,000 withdrawal, you know that. That's when it gets real. You feel what I'm saying? When you make that $1,000 withdrawal, keep going. I'm telling you, this is going to be a journey. This is not a goal. This is going to be attached to your life in some type of way because it's going to do something to you. It's going to teach you about how the world really moves money. So your relationship with money is going to change because you're understanding that this power that we have, the banks have been capitalizing off this for the longest. You know what I'm saying? And now we're getting a chance in the past almost decade now, very aggressively partake in this market. So guys, I want everybody to be safe trading. Remember, accountability. That's the word for this week right here. Because anybody who got trashed by a pair like this, because they were in a buy, has to take accountability that they should have X'd out of the trade. And then just got off to this pair, to be honest with you. But like I said, these are things that you learn along the way. Might have had to wait till today. Look, it looked like a little bit of buying, I don't know, whatever. It could still go down, y'all, telling you. So I say that to say this, safe trading. It's the one and only my boss, Ron Knight. I thank everybody for coming out and chopping it up with me. Yep, the bank's been banking on our money. So now we're going to accrue that interest. No matter, you got to think 1 to 3% a day on your money, any type of money that you're making is a gain. Because you leave that money in there for a whole year, no matter what they give you, little pennies or something. Just pennies, little crumbs. Well, all year they've been flipping your money 5,000 times. So think about that. Yeah, 0.01%. Wow. And a 0.1 is 10 cents a pip. Sheesh. What a robbery. What a robbery, y'all. So keep that in mind. This skill is going to alleviate that mystery right there. Yep, the banks give you a penny. That's it. And with that said, I am gone, y'all. I'm going to stop the recording right here.